What is up, card fighters? Today we'll be doing a reaction to one of my card fights in a very long time, which will be my time-stamping dragon against stealth dragon Shiranui or Oboro. Now, it's been a long time since I've actually card fight in person. I've been playing on Discord a lot. You guys have probably seen me on Discord for the people that are on different fights Discord. That's kind of what I've been practicing right now. Like, college and life have been beating me up, and I only get to play Vanguard like a limited amount of times online. Real life, I try to get it in like once a week, but you know, what happens, happens. However, I was lucky enough to get 3 matches in with Time-Stamping Dragon. It is one of the more obscure Dark States decks, being a promo-based Vanguard, and I've actually been having really a lot of fun with this deck. I definitely do think that the future support for it, as well as the promo that we may be getting in English in a couple of months for this deck, will definitely give this deck a boost in terms of power and consistency, and I want to give it a try now. Now, with that being said, before I showcase this fight and commentate it, if you guys enjoy seeing content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do not forget to hit the notification bell so you guys are always up to date on my newest videos coming out. Then, so we're getting started with the match. So as we get started with the match, I did not know about the new energy rules. I had energy on the side for it because I bought a bunch of the start decks for it, and I was just ready to go, and I was super excited to see how we can move forward with it. But he's starting off with Shiranui, and with the popularity of this deck, I'm already like very familiar with what Shiranui does. You know, it's doing its old dominate tactics, and I played through that era all the way back in G, and got to give it a try. Now, my mentality going into this is the fact that because I know what Shiranui does, I want to make sure that I can manage my rear guards, but also try to still push them because it is the stride deck and I am going second. Time-Stamping Dragon needs to go second because you don't get all of the effects that he can do unless your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3. And from my experience, just going second has been better. And that worked out actually very well because obviously if I'm going second, that means that he can't stride, and that gives me like 1 turn to like play over his cards and, you know, get some sort of advantage going for myself. Alright, so I swing it with my Vanguard, I do the Lamina, Steve, I get 2 cards into my hand, and then obviously I got Causality Dragon. That card is one of my win condition cards. I use it if I have the Dark States OT already in the drop zone. It gives this deck something to like actually like swing at your opponent with and be scary. And because Time-Stamping Dragon is a Highlander deck, that means that your opponent has a lot of different options that they have to worry about. Having the choice of being able to go into so many different things depending on what cards you have in your hand, every single card in your hand being something that can be viable to your attack pattern, is definitely scary to think about because all those cards will just be time limited into something that can be better, and it gives you more advantage in the future. And I got to go up to 3 energy already. I do forget about incorporating energy into my playstyle. That's something I want you guys to keep in mind. You guys do need to start incorporating energy into your playstyle. You need to start being mindful of it and thinking about it because it is a resource you actually have to pay attention to. Like, you'll see in the future, there are times where like I should have done the draw first and then all my compression because it would have maybe like changed like 1 or 2 things, but I didn't think about that because I'm still getting used to it. Now, he uses the Shoujo Doji Ride Chain for Shiranui. He gets the top 5 check, he calls out the grade 1 that lets him counterblast 1 and draw a card because he has the crest available, keeping his hand size up as well as dropping the new promo. Now he's coming to swing at me, and obviously I don't want to go at more than like 2 damage on this turn, so I'm gonna go ahead and block with what I can. I was overthinking my defense. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've actually played this Vanguard in person, so it's different than playing like online. I should honestly stop 2 of these attacks, only taking 1 point of damage, because he gave up the promo, but it was what it was. He didn't hit a trigger, I didn't hit a trigger either, and I should have just blocked it. I don't know why I didn't just block like the other one, but I guard with the heal trigger, and then I get to go ahead and start my turn. Thanks to the promo, he gets to draw a card. That promo is insanely good. I think that for $3, you should pick it up. My energy goes up to 6. Once again, I keep forgetting about that. And then I will go ahead and ride up to my next card. Now, I don't know what I discard. Oh, I discard Miroslava. Yeah, my soul is really low, so Miroslava won't do anything for me for a while. And that card is only really good for setup when you need it. I get to go ahead and go off into that, which is the grade 2. I honestly think after playing this deck a little bit more, I think the grade 2 that lets you just ride up for free might be better in this deck actually, because would have got to keep the grade 0 on board, and that would give me more targets for time stamping, but I do like Richard. I then call out Ultrasound Siri. Horrible card. Please do not play that card in Time-Stamping Dragon. I was playing it at first because the mentality was I have a lot of cards that move stuff from like drop zone into soul, or I play cards like Matsuvara in this deck that can become huge beat 6 if I have certain things in soul, but no, it's not worth it. I move a copy of my Vanguard into the soul because I know that I have another Miroslava in the deck somewhere and I can get it back later. And once again, like I said, I wanted different grades in the soul because I do play Maltavara in my deck and other cards that are reliant on me having certain things in the soul to be active. Plus, I wanted to like get some board out and show my opponent that I wasn't scared to like make the necessary play needed to keep up with the offense. So I get the Guggenrom active to draw a card and then I start swinging. I know that I need to survive this turn and my hand is not looking the best, so I'm going to go ahead and start swinging at the rear guards. And he doesn't really seem to care about it. But my mistake here is that I probably should have swung his other rear guard because this is one of his attackers and I know he can't revive it. But he didn't care for it anyway, so he just let it die. His energy is up at 6. Disadvantage of, you know, going first, you don't get to get that energy blast till your turn 4. But he goes into Shiranui or Oboro. My board is full. At this point, like I said, I want to keep offensive. I don't particularly care if he gets rid of my rear guards, because once again, with Time Stamping Dragon, everything in my hand is something that can become something better. And I called those units out knowing that he could potentially get rid of them because of what he can do. If anything, maybe I should have called the Guggenrom behind the Vanguard and kept it there, but I have other cards that I may or may not have wanted there, and I felt like the offense was better because he would just call those things back, and knocking out his rear guards was important too, because I didn't realize how low his hand was. So he swung at the Guggenrom, swings at my Vanguard. To be honest, I should have... Did I block this? I didn't block this. I should have. I shouldn't have, like, I would have gone to 4 damage, put me in a bad spot. I lucked out with the damage trigger and he swings at the Siri. The Siri is useless at this point because she already did her job, so I'm not going to block for that. And then I go ahead and I get to start my turn. Now, had this had been the ride unit, I would have had a grade 0 on board, the grade 2, and I wouldn't have to think about this. I can just Soul Blast right up. And I would have had a target for my Vanguard. I discarded Biricon Manticore because that card is useless in Time Stamping Dragon. I understand the idea of why Time Stamping Dragon players play that card. Please do not play that card. When the new support comes out for Divine Z, just play that like Energy Blast thing. Play literally anything else. I call out Kennen, and Kennen is another one of my setup pieces. I get to call out Brian, and Brian is helpful because he's going to give power to my front row. And like I said, I already had the other Guggenrom in hand, so that's why I didn't care about losing the other one. And this one wasn't going anywhere, so outside of him dominating it, but I don't think he'd want to dominate such a weak unit. I kind of sit here and debate with myself for a while on how I should proceed with like power and stuff like that. But then I like realized I was overthinking it because Kennen is only a 9k unit. He's not a 10k. I thought he was 10k, but I forgot. Like I said, it's been a while since I played Vanguard in real life. Therefore, I was like, I'm just leave him up front. Kennen's gonna be the one to get the power. We were just, you know, playing like for fun. So he let me take the play back. You're gonna see me take it back right here. I just say, leave the power to the front row. Everything gets 5. We're not gonna make this difficult. And then I keep playing. Honestly, I think I should have called more units out. In this deck, it's okay, but because I was at grade 3 and my hand was like I said, not the strongest, and I already used the Brian effect to accumulate more power, and I had the 1 soul for another card, I said to myself, I'm gonna go ahead and use the energy because he reminded me about it. So I got to draw a card. I should have drew a card first before I used my effects and started setting up, but it is what it is, right? All right, and then I think I started attacking. I shouldn't have done this. I really should have just like started pushing more on rear guard to swing my opponent because I needed to knock out those restanders and those Furais. I did have something to deal with it. I bound a grade 3 and a grade 2. So what that means is I get to Superior Call a grade 3 for 10k, and I also get to gain triple drive, and I gain 10,000 power. This is gonna help me keep my hand up. Also, my damage was high, and I was hoping for a heal trigger to bring me back. But I call out Gruesome Sight Dragon because I really want to knock out those rear guards. His hand was already low, which I didn't realize until like rewatching this match, and I should have pushed more. Which is why I said I should have used the Guggenrom to boost anyway and like gotten more attacks and then still do the Gruesome Sight and put more pressure on him, because I'm realizing now watching this that his hand was not that high. Triple drive goes off. I get the Dark States OT that's live now. I get the power. He reminded me it's a draw. It was my fault for not remembering that. Like I said, it's been a while, y'all. I get the heal trigger off. Okay, so now I'm actually like back in the game. and I get accumulate all of this power and resource. Everything's going to gruesome, and then I get a perfect guard. So I got OT, heal, and PG all active. And at this point, I should have been in a very fair spot against my opponent. I push him to 5 damage, and he's not in the best position either. But he's gonna go ahead and go into his first stride turn, and I should have blocked more earlier so that this way I didn't have to deal with that. Because I was already swinging at the rear guards, so that heal trigger would have put me down to 1 damage, which would have helped me survive his following turns later. But he has the Dominate go off for my Gruesome Scythe Dragon. It was Gruesome Scythe or Guggen Ram, I don't remember. But I'm going to see it when he uses the effective Magun Tenbu anyway. He activates the order. I didn't know what it did. It's the one that gives the protection effect and 5k to his Vanguard during his turn. And let's see, what was happening here? Oh yeah, he was explaining it to me because I have not seen this card yet for what it does. And yeah, I think it was the Guggen Ram because the Guggen Ram is standing. Yeah, he keeps dominating the Guggen Ram because he doesn't want me to get the draw, and he's knocking out my other pieces, which doesn't bother me because, you know, in this deck you don't really care about your rear guards. Guggen Ram retires, so I do lose out on that. I wasn't too mad. He's dropping stuff onto the board now. Swings with the Magun Tenbu, and I honestly should have blocked this. I feel like I should have done more defensively speaking. I feel like my defense was off this game. I should have blocked the 1 attack earlier. I know that for a fact. He gets the crit and the heal here. So at this point, I'm the one at the disadvantage now. But it's okay because I felt like I had all the defensive tools needed and the offensive tools to keep up with my opponent following into the next turn. So he swings it with Oboro and the promo, and then I have the cards needed to block it. I use the Miranda because the power is really high, and defensively speaking, my hand was not the strongest. Gave up the heal trigger because I had better targets in my hand that I wanted to keep. Alright, I stand and draw. And do I Persona Ride? Yes! Okay, so my energy goes up to, what was it? 9, 2, so my energy's at 5. I Persona Ride, and that puts me in a good spot. Did I draw? Did I draw? Hold up, y'all. Okay, I did draw. I had to double check for a second. I draw, and then after that, I start my turn. At this point, he's at 4 damage. I know he has a crit, a heal in his hand, and at this, I should have just dumped everything and just pushed. I should have just tried to go for a game. I have Dark States OT active. I have all of these effects live. I lose a crit, but it doesn't matter. We didn't have dice, so I kept it sideways to show it was gaining power. Causality, yeah, I should have just called out everything and just swung. Causality was irrelevant at this point, by the way, because my Dark States OT was gone. But yeah, I should have just done my whole hand. I was overthinking it. Argyle was active. Argyle comes into play. He gives me a counter charge for flipping up the 2. And then at this point, I have the Exploder to give damage. Yeah, I feel like my attack pattern was just off. Yeah, my attack formation was just not good. Yeah, no, it wasn't it. So yeah, that's at 18. No, this was not it. I feel like I could have done this better. That was 33. He still wouldn't be able to block it. This was 23. Yeah. So he was still able to block the 2 attacks. But I do this. I counterblast 1. I get rid of these 2. I go in for the multi-attack, which is correct. But the targets that I'm going to call out are not the best. So now I get a grade 3 and a grade 2. I get Vorpal Scythe and I get Brilliant Gunfire Colossus. The Colossus is going to let me draw a card. Vorpal Scythe is going to give me a potential Soul Charger 2. This is exactly why I said I should have called something else and just gone full commit. He has to drop a... Yeah. He has to, I think, drop a PG on me, right? Because I'm 33 with 2 crit. Colossus has +5. So that column is 18. Time Stamping's benefit gives it 10. So we're 18, I get a critical trigger, 18, 20 from Persona, 30 from effect, 35, I get a critical trigger, so 45 plus 18 is 63 with a crit. Yep, 63 with a crit. That's correct. Yep, 63 with a crit. And that's where I messed up at. I should have gone Vorpal Sight to rear guard, Soul Charge 2, pump up the Brainwash Swirler, and then just call it a day. I was debating on swinging at his Vanguard or rear guard because his hand was super low. And I was like, the Oboro doesn't do anything, and I have an intercept for it. So I just swung at the Vanguard to try to push him. I knocked out a front trigger. Oh, he was just asking me if the Vorpal Scythe was a mandatory Soul Charge. I told him no. But I messed up there. I should have swung at the, yeah, I should have swung at the rear guard, get the extra Soul Charge, and then go in for that. I don't know if he drew into a heal or not, but it would have been much better. So now he's doing the Shiranui Rene play, or the one that lets you like dominate the Vanguard. His stride skill comes into play. I go ahead and I think I blocked the first attack. He uses Colossus to, I think, swing into my other rear guard. Or he uses something like swing at my Vanguard or something. Hits the crit, hits a heal. So all of his triggers are, you know, coming to save him. So far I was okay. I was like, if this is it for his attacks, I can survive this, right? Because you're gonna see me drop a PG and stop that. I discard Natalie. Honestly, I had Persona in my hand, and truth be told, I should have gotten rid of that. And the main reason being is because I didn't calculate it, and I would have lost if he double triggered. But the main reason being is because I had the Natalie in my hand, and that would have been 33, so I should have just gotten rid of the Persona. But he OT'd, and there was nothing I could do. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for staying tuned for me throughout this card fight commentary. If you guys enjoy seeing more content like this, you already know what to do. But with that being said, I am your host, Prime Vanguard, and I'll catch you later. Peace.